welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise as the social initiative is underway in Egypt to revive the nuclear energy project to face the severe energy crisis that is being faced here in the country. The Ministry of Electricity and its subordinate, the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority, are hoping to achieve soon their nuclear aspirations, which have been dubbed a national project and an issue of national pride. Dr. Mouneer Shahin, the international energy expert, is here to talk to us more in Nile Cruise about the energy crisis in Egypt and how to solve it in the future. Dr. Mouneer Shahin, hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, as I've said in the introduction, we're facing a severe energy crisis here in the country. What are the main reasons to be starting with?
Well, as a matter of fact, again, even if they have already added some energy, but again, the population is increasing by a rate higher, much higher than the sources at the moment added. So if we compare the production of electricity in Egypt at the moment compared with other countries, we'll find, for example, India by 1,000 megawatts, producing at the moment 205,000 megawatts. South Korea, which started again the same like us in the 60s, at the moment is 80,000. Egypt is 30,000. So, as a matter of fact, the production of electricity in Egypt is relatively very small, and the population is increasing. So even without deterioration for the units which is producing the electricity, the amount to produce is very low.
So how can we increase the amount in the first place, and how we consume it in a better way?
Well, as a matter of fact, again, when you say consume it in a better way, and again, losses or something like that, as a matter of fact, again, there are global warming. So again, at the moment, air conditioning, whatever is essential, it's very important. So we cannot reduce our consumption. Otherwise, we are comparing ourselves with others also. When you compare again the share of citizens in Egypt from electricity measured by kilowatt per year. Now, you compare this with Iceland, for example. Iceland, the citizen there consumes 31,000 kilowatt per year. Norway, for example, again, 27,800 per year. Egypt, 1,300. 27,800 per year. Egypt, 1,300. So at the moment, it's too small again for the share of the citizen in
maybe because these countries
produces less.
Produce less.
Less, exactly. And we have to add a new source. When we say again new source, is the solar or wind would be the solution? No way. Again, it's quite nice to have them. Also, again, family of or different sources of energy. But again, to replace or to just only
as an option,
as an
option for
additional option. It could save only again cutting the 1 hour or 2 hours daily. But again, if we are going for development, so no way again to eliminate the nuclear energy. So it's a must. It's not luxury now, it's very important, and we have to use the nuclear energy.
So how can we develop the nuclear energy here in Egypt?
Well, as a matter of fact, again, we have expertise here a lot inside Egypt and outside, also Egyptians. The only problem, again, they don't care, or if there is some, again, pressures from outside, they don't realize that sooner or later we have to go through it. And by the way, Egypt is always peaceful. We are not looking for any armament, nuclear armament. No, we are just only interested in the peaceful applications, starting from electricity and other very useful radiation applications, like in medical region, like also agriculture, like environment. So many applications is needed. So at the moment, yes, we are looking for peaceful. We are a peaceful nation. Although, if you come to look at it, you'll find that other nations in the Middle East, whom we have already agreed all together, except this country, we agreed again for free Middle East
nuclear-free zone.
Exactly, yes. So at the moment we abide by this, others not. Still again, we have to stick only to the peaceful applications and try collectively and hard with others to make the zones free also from nuclear weapons.
But wouldn't be developing nuclear energy here in Egypt, would it be costly, expensive for us?
Well, if you compare the cost of energy production, surprisingly enough, you'll find the lowest cost will be on two sources, coal and the nuclear energy. And again, in the nuclear energy, if you spend, for example, $12 or 12 pounds, for example, for producing kilowatt, you'll find 11 and a half out of the 12 for security and safety. So it's a very safe and secure source of energy. So the coal, comparing with others, you'll find again, gas is less than oil. So the lowest cost will be coal and nuclear energy. The problem again with coal, we don't have coal as a raw material, so we have to import it. And in addition to that, always the production of the waste from the source of energy is compared with the size of the source itself. So coal, you have to have huge source to get the same from nuclear energy. For example, if you have 10,000 tons of coal, you'll need from oil 5,000, half the amount. You need from the uranium 1/20,000. You need from the new or the future energy from hydrogen, which is again fusion, not fission one. You'll need 1/2 million part of the coal, and that's why the waste is too small. So we have so many advantages, in fact, from the nuclear energy, and the cost is not that much. So,
but how much time would it take if we decide to be taking the steps of developing nuclear energy here in Egypt and in Cairo in a serious way? How much time would it take us to be developing?
Good question, because in fact, again, it will take some time, but we have to start. At the moment, we are in real trouble, real crisis. So what is needed at the moment to gain time is just only Dr. Morsi or presidential decree, immediate presidential decree to start in that project, because it will take some time to do the again from the start till the almost years, 6, 8 years or something like that. So we have to start. And as I said again, the cost is not that much, and the amount of power produced is so high compared with others. So we have to start quickly.
Tell me more about the countries that have actually developed nuclear energy for peaceful reasons, of course, in the Middle East and in other regions.
Well, when you say again in the Middle East, unfortunately again it's a grief for the whole Arab world, and even Egypt is one of them. We have 435 nuclear reactors in the world and 60 under construction. Unfortunately, none of them, neither from the reactors existed at the moment or under construction. None of them in the Arab world, the whole Arab world. As a matter of fact, UAE, United Arab Emirates, started thinking about that. And Baraka 1, I think it's the new one under construction, not under construction, they are thinking about it. They haven't started yet. Saudi Arabia, I read already that they are planning in fact 16 reactors, and they allocated already $100 billion for them. So we started getting the point that we need it. After all, as a matter of fact, in Egypt, oil and gas, the estimated prediction that will finish within 25 to 30 years. If the people there in the Gulf area, they started thinking about it, so we have to think even more than them, because we have much less than them as far as the oil and gas is concerned.
Okay, but my next question would be a bit political, because we've seen a lot of sanctions put on maybe a country such as Iran because of their development of nuclear energy for peaceful reasons, as they say. So what if we do the same? We develop nuclear energy and we say it's for peaceful reasons, but in the same time, countries such as Israel or the USA would say, no, it's not for peaceful reasons, and will be implying sanctions upon us. Would that be happening in the future?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm starting smiling, because again, when you say again Israel and the United States, again, if the United States says that, we'll accept it. But from Israel itself, she hasn't signed any international agreement.
And they do develop nuclear energy.
And they do develop.
Israel.
As a matter of fact, at the moment they have got 300 nuclear warheads. And they were going to use it again in that
and how many reactors?
They have the Daimona one, which is again, it's almost now decaying, and it has to be in fact shut down, otherwise it could cause a problem like Chernobyl one. But so I don't accept from them saying anything like that. And if we compare ourselves in Egypt compared with Iran or Persia, we'll find ourselves that we are much more, I mean, respected nation from all over the world. And we are a peaceful nation. As a matter of fact, Sadat, after 6 October war, as a matter at the moment we had that time President Nixon visited Egypt here and said again, because of the peaceful intentions of Egypt will help. But I don't know, maybe the pressure has been put again from Israel on United States and nothing happened. We signed by that time non-proliferation treaty, but without endorsing it, and nothing happened. When Mubarak came, he signed that, endorsed that agreement, and signed even more harsh one, which is again CTBT, Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, and nothing happened. There is a strong lobby in the United States, of course, again, which again trying to eliminate any country in the region, especially the Arab countries, to have this technology.
Okay, so the Egyptian nuclear dream is actually dating back to a number of years ago.
Yes.
Will you tell me more about the origins of the idea here in Egypt?
Right. It started, in fact, from President Nasser. And he was very successful. He created by that time a committee, and again turned it to be a corporation. And you got again 2 megawatt research nuclear plant in Chas. And he was very active, very honest. And again, Sadat came, and as a matter of fact, started again. He splitted this corporation in so many entities, and this started weakening the program. And on top of that, although again something in fact would be, I mean, related to him, which is be praised on that, because he was the one in fact, he did all the calculations or the estimations or the tests for the Dab'a site.
Yes.
Just after his assassination, the Dab'a site came from internal research and outside international research to be the best site in Egypt for this project. So the credit will go for him. But after Sadat came Hosni Mubarak. This is the problem, in fact, because in '86, after Chernobyl accident,
yes,
he said again, no, he halted all the activities of nuclear activities. On top of that, in '88, he said again, we have a strategic now, peaceful strategic decision. We are not going into any nuclear activities at all. Surprisingly enough, in 2008, complete turn, and again decided to have a nuclear activity. We, as a matter of fact, questioned why is that. We realized later from the Times in news in India, I mean, got from journalists from the United States. By that date, announced it here in Egypt that we are going for that turn in
yes,
nuclear project. Ahmadinejad of Iran, he was again in the United Nations and announcing his activities there. So it was only to polish his son Gamal Mubarak. That's all. But in fact, again, the president after Nasser, especially on Hosni Mubarak, they halted everything. And some said again because of businessmen whom they were interested, and still, if they are at the moment still in power, they were still interested in Dab'a site, and they did everything, every mean to halt the things there.
Yes, Doctor, you've mentioned Dab'a, the place of the Dab'a, and the site, of course, of structuring or constructing a nuclear
yes,
maybe a place or a reactor there.
Right.
So the people of Al-Dab'a themselves have actually protested since 2011 against the development
yes,
of such a thing there. And of course the people started negotiating with the police and
right,
the security forces. Do you think it's really dangerous for them to be living there? Do you think that people should be evacuated from the whole place?
Well, again, I mentioned before that again, if of the kilowatt spends again 11.5% of, no percent, 11.5 out of the 12 for security. Compare again, as a matter of fact, in the last 50 years, the accident happened from coal plants, 22,500 case. In oil,
yes,
it's 2005, 2,150. Now compared with the nuclear, it's just only 31 case. 31 compared with the coal, 22,500. So it's so small. And again, as a matter of fact, these incidents happened from the people, in fact, they were firemen, people or something like that. So no, security-wise, safety-wise, the nuclear energy is the best. Accident in the road is much more than nuclear energy. So it's again shame because they are promoting this sort of thing. I mean, harsh for the people living beside it. No way, this is not the truth. Because again, it's less than 2% from any other sources, natural sources we are exposing ourselves to it. And they also said again the accident, which is not true. They said also again that number of reactors in the world, they are at the moment, most of the world countries at the moment shutting down them is not true. For example, China has got now at the moment 26 reactors under construction, China. Russia has got 11. South Korea has got...
But we've seen the problems that happened in Japan.
Yes.
Especially with the nuclear energy and the nuclear reactors in
exactly,
Daiichi,
yes.
I think.
No, Fukushima.
Fukushima, yes.
Exactly, yes.
So, what if this happened here in Egypt? Do you think that maybe with
in Japan,
a natural disaster will be actually causing the same problem here in Egypt if we have nuclear
No way,
energy?
because again, simply in Japan, it's in what they call earthquake region. So what happened in the it was nothing at all related to the nuclear problem. It was an earthquake, and caused the whole problem and incident. As I said again, 31 accidents, including the 3 Mile Island problem in the United States, including the Chernobyl one in Ukraine, and including the Fukushima one. 31 incidents. So there is nothing at all. And the Japan is much more harsh environment than in Egypt. The site in Dab'a is not in an earthquake region. So no way, no, we won't get any problem like that. As a matter of fact, what happened in the Dab'a, it's a shame. It's a shame for the Egyptian people from Dab'a itself and the unit army leaders there. Because if you look at it, you'll find 20-kilometer fence there by Dab'a and has been damaged or destroyed by a bulldozer. Where they were, the security people there. And after all, at the moment, if we would like to go ahead with Dab'a, yes, we have to use the stick and carrot. The stick, we have to evacuate everything happen and put the site back again as normal before. And secondly, holding trials for the people involved in that. At the same time, we have to show them the carrot now, or the mercy. We have to compensate them fairly and enough. At the same time, building schools and again, getting youth trained and employed by them. Also providing the people of Dab'a preferential if we are producing water, electricity, they have to take it again in better prices than others.
Yes.
So, and also again, everywhere you'll make the surrounding areas by the nuclear reactor as if it's a very tourist place. So we have to build up again cinemas, theaters, malls. Again, people will love it and will be sympathizing with us.
Okay, but my last question would be about the technology.
Yes.
Of supporting nuclear energy here in
Right.
Egypt. Do we have that? Currently
Yes.
do have that?
100% yes. There is one expert here in this country called Yusri Abu Shadi and Ibrahim Al-Asiri. Both of them, they said again, we have the people in fact to run even third generations because we have in fact, first generation is all obsolete, the gas nuclear reactors. Second generation from the water, some of them light water, some heavy water. The boiling reactors, it's almost again is not safe enough because the water is in contact with the core reactor itself. But again, the pressurized water reactor, which is the second generation, it's good and all over the world. Even the third generation is being used in Japan from 1996. Again, there are two types of the third generation one. One of them, in fact, was the heavy water. And the third one, the fourth one again, it's a mix between using plutonium and uranium. Plutonium, we don't have it again. It has to be with somewhere we do reprocessing fuel elements because it's not existed in the natural world. It is produced from reprocessing of the fuel of the used reactors. So at the moment, I don't advise for that one. But again, the heavy water would be ideal for us. If they refused, we'll accept again the light water of the pressurized one. The technology is there, well done and well proved in safety, and the people inside Egypt are capable for the even third generation. This exactly from the people on the Atomic Energy Authority in Egypt. So I hope they will go ahead with it. And believe me again, no way any other source will solve the problem of Egypt except only the nuclear energy.
Hopefully, Dr. Mouneer Shahin, the international energy expert, thank you very much for being with us today on Nile Cruise.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, now it's time to go out for a quick break, so stay tuned for us.